Okay, we're back with another episode of High Rated Edison today. Today we have Dr. Argo on 782 going up against Alex on 975. So Alex at the time would have been in the top 100. Dr. Argo would have been sat just outside of the top 200. So both pretty high rated duelists. Opening hands are Force, Avarice, MST, and Book, Greffer, Sirocco, Hamster, Burial, Card Trooper, and Bottomless. So this looks like Vayu Turbo. This could be a few different things, but it looks like some kind of Machina variant at least. So probably Hamster, Ryko, Caius Machina, like Machina Control, but I'm sure we'll find out. So Alex is going to set the Hamster, set the Bottomless, pass it over. Okay, draws Jinzo Returner, so it's not that, it's actually the Jinzo deck. Yeah, which kind of makes sense actually. But yeah, not seeing any of the kind of typical Jinzo cards. So they're just going to set MST and pass. Draw for turn is D Prison. Pass. Draw for turn is another copy of Avarice. Wow, Dr. Argo just cannot get a draw to save his life. Pass. Draw for turn is a Vayu. Yeah, they don't want to commit this Hamster. And I kind of get that. But at the same time, at the minute you're not going off with like your Greffer and stuff. So yeah, I think Summon Greffer is right. Pitch Vayu, dump Gardener. Yeah, get him for 17 now. And pass. Okay, fine. Draw for turn is Future Fusion now. Wow, this is... yeah, this is kind of crazy actually. So MST the back row and then go off, right? Yeah, cool. MST the Bottomless. Future Fusion, show the Chimera Tech. Cyber Dragon, Jinzo, Jinzo Returner. 1 Gear Frame, 2 Fortress, 2 Gear Frame, 3 Gear Frame. Oh yeah, because you've got Avarice here, right? So you're just dumping, yeah, you're just dumping everything, and you're just trying to make the Avarices live. So Jinzo's coming out now. Yep, they can pitch Force, bring out Fortress. They can Avarice back, Force, Gear Frame. Yeah, one of the Cyber Dragons picks up Force and Cyber Dragon. Nice. Pitch the Force, summon the Fortress now. Yeah, I mean, this Hamster is going to save them here, but this is a lot of damage. So that's 800. Jinzo's going to go into the Hamster. Hamster's going to bring out a Ryko. Yeah, they should have attacked. Oh, maybe they should have attacked with a Fortress first, so they have to destroy Jinzo. They don't have to destroy Jinzo, they save themselves a little bit of life if they destroy Jinzo. Because, yeah, right now, they're going to get the Fortress effect off, which is pretty good. But they're not going to get any damage in. Okay, so hits out the Burial and the Ryko, Mills, Charge, MST, and another copy of Ryko. Okay, pretty good. Yeah, so in end phase, Jinzo's go to grave, but you are still left with one of the Fortresses out, which is pretty good. And you still got a hand of 5, and you've got another Avarice that you can resolve. So this is solid. This is really solid. They could have even Avarice last turn, but I guess they don't want to put some of the bricks back in the deck. Okay, pick up for turn there was Armonite. So just going to summon Sirocco, set the D Prison, pass. Draw for turn is the Dad. Oh, it's not live, right? Because it's too many returners and too many Jinzos. But they now have Avarice. Put back the right number of cards that aren't dark. Can they do that? Yeah, they can put back so they only have 3 darks in grave. Wow. Yeah, this is pretty good. Okay, they don't see it or don't go for it. But, yeah, I understand. Because they don't have game yet. And committing Dad without a game shot is not great. But it would have been a huge amount of damage. You would have had Jinzo Returner as well. And you would have had 2 draws off the Avarice. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I probably would have seen what the Avarice gets me at least. And then decide if I want a Dad. Okay, Card Trooper hits out a Law. Hamster Ryko. Just passes back. Draw for turn there is Chaos Sork. Okay, yeah, the Overdragon comes out now. Oh, I guess, yeah. I guess that's right. They had to... if they were going to summon the Dad, they would have lost it this turn. So may as well wait and then see if you can do it this turn. Like if you're not 100% sure, if you're risking it on some Avarice draws, and you know that you got a field nuke coming out next turn, yeah, not a great idea. Okay, so they're going to pitch Cyber Dragon, summon out the Fortress in hand. They're going to Pot of Avarice back. Yep. Does this... Okay, no, they're still oversubscribed by 1 on Darks, but they do still have the other Avarice. And I guess what they actually want is one for... Yeah, I guess they want to leave one in. Right, with the light for Chaos Sork now. Yeah, now they've drawn it. And that's Limiter. This has got to be it, right? Yeah, so Chaos Sork out now. Drop the dad. Dad, hit the back row. And the field. Yep. Yeah, maybe even leave the Trooper up, actually, so you can play around Gauze. Which would be... Yeah, which would be maybe more effective, but... Yeah, they just go in for the damage here. So 23, 25 damage. Yeah, enough. Yeah, I was just thinking there that they could have... I mean, they play around Gauze anyway with that line where they just go for the limiter on the middle attack, but another way would have been just to leave the Card Trooper up and go into it. Okay. Game number 2 now. Opening hands are Heavy Storm, Doom Caliber. Okay, cool to see this card. I don't think I've ever featured this on the channel before. Everyone should know what this does, but it's a dark level 4 fiend monster. Can't be special summoned. When a monster effect is activated, quick effect tribute this card, negate the activation if you do destroy that monster. Key part of the text here is that it's not optional. So if you summon it out and then you try and activate a monster effect, it will negate your monster effect. Gear Frame, Jinzo Returner, and Cyber Dragon. Got Bottomless, Vayu, Plague, Jane, Charge, and Gale. Interesting to see Jane being the card of choice. This is something I have seen Vayu players kind of tech in as a kind of out to some of the Gladiator Beast stuff, but I don't know that it's good into the Machina stuff. I guess it gets over a Gear Frame, which is pretty important. Okay, going to start with Charge Mills, Rotor Brain, oof, Bottomless, god. There's some god-awful mills. Picks up the Raikou, puts back the Vayu that they accidentally searched. Sets the Raikou, sets the Bottomless, and pass. Draw for turn there is Gold Sark. They're going to Doom Cow, that's going to get them out of Bottomless now. Now they can Gold Sark the Future Fusion. Yeah, they could have heavied into the singular back row, and we can see that would have actually been a good idea because there's not a whole lot of other back row they've got access to. But yeah, it feels fine. The actual thing that you want to probably stick is the Gear Frame. Okay, Jane coming down now. Jane can get in for 18. Mills, Cyber Dragon, Gauze, and end phase pass. Draw for turn is another copy of Gear Frame. Gear Frame coming down now. That can add Fortress. Fortress can pitch, yeah, with Jinzo or the Gear Frame or the Cyber Dragon. Yeah, damage step, all good. And then the Gear Frame going to go over the Raikou. Important decision to make now. Yeah, okay. They do choose to go for the Fortress, and that does then rip the Raikou out of the hand. Mills, Raikou, Torrential, and Caius. God. I mean, it's... Yeah. These mills. Okay, draw for turn is Cyber Dragon. That is pretty good. You can clear this Gear Frame without committing to your normal summon, but yeah, I think maybe just set Plague and try and get that into rotation might be better. Draw for turn there is Book. Do they get the Future Fusion back now? I was going to say, I think that's... Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it has been enough turns. Okay. So Future Fusion now. Reveal Over Dragon, Cyber Dragon, Jinzo Returner, Jinzo Returner, Jinzo. Fortress. Okay. Yeah, they had one of the... Yeah, I was going to say they discarded one of the Jinzos earlier. So this is 2 Jinzo Returners going off. And then Gear Frame. Gear Frame adds Force. Yep, and brings out the Fortress with that Force. So Gear Frame going to go in now. Other Gear Frame. Jinzo, and Fortress for game. Wow. Yeah, very nice. Okay, wow. What a game. Yeah, I can't wait for this trend to die like the rest. It's worse than Gigabytes. I don't know. I don't know. It looks really good here. I think the thing that the Jinzo OTK deck has that like Gigabytes doesn't have is that it's just got like an incredible backup plan with the Machina stuff in general. Like Machina's difficult to grind with. You can't target, Machina Fortress with a monster effect without losing part of your hand. It destroys if it's destroyed by battle. Gear Frame, really consistent Stratos. You pair it with stuff like Cyber Dragon, like you've got big pushes. And then, if you've got 2 Gold Socks, 1 Future Fusion, you've got 3 Future Fusions, 2 with a delay. And it's just not like it's not like if you can't get to Future Fusion, you don't have a game plan. You do have a game plan. The game plan is Machina control, and if you can get to Future Fusion, you have the best game plan in maybe the format, in that you can dump 6 machines, 3 Returner, 3 Jinzo, and you can summon 3 Jinzo, and you're normally also dumping a Fortress to get that live as well. So, and then if you draw, God forbid you draw Dad Future Fusion, I don't even know what can stop that if those cards are allowed to resolve. So it's really it's a fair comment. Like the Jinzo stuff is maybe a little bit of a trend, but I think it might be here to stay. I think it looks really good, and especially when you're beating Vayu 2-0. In fairness, Alex, really good Vayu player. I've seen them on the channel before. Didn't mill great, but the doctor put on a bit of a clinic here, and it looks really good. So very cool. I like the Jinzo deck. I've got it in paper. I think it's a really cool, fun deck to play. I don't know how well it can do over long tournaments, although we did see at the RBET Berlin this came in top 8, I think, and was really pretty impactful when we saw it on stream. So we know the deck is good, but I'm wondering over longer tournaments if it can keep up. Either way though, cool match to see, and what a way to end it.